Greetings, fellow YouTubers. This is Hunt INX, and today we're doing a video review on the Neca Mirage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Damaged Shredder. So this might come as a little bit of a surprise because I've mentioned it like in one other video before, but I am a pretty decent Ninja Turtles fan. Grew up with it, love the franchise, and I do like the figures a lot. I'm slowly kind of collecting my own like little group of them, kind of picking and choosing. So far I've got a handful of like little turtles, mainly from my childhood, and two newer ones, and then I got these Neca, Shredder, and Casey Jones, which we'll see in a minute in size comparison. But first, taking a look at the overall detail of Shredder. Yeah, it is that Neca Mirage Turtles look where they're trying to, you know, kind of shade it up, make it look exact comic book. But one of the things I like about Neca with their painting when it comes to these figures is that it's very natural looking. Like, it doesn't, like, the shadowing is there and it's heavy on Shredder, but it doesn't detract from the figure. It doesn't make it visually different from a normal figure. What I mean by that? Well, what if I take, for example, just reaching here, see, Marvel Legends Deadpool. This is a very realistic figure, but he doesn't look weirdly out of place next to Shredder. I mean, it's clear that Shredder looks different, but because the shadowing for the comic look is in the right spots and is natural looking, it doesn't make it look too far out of place next to a normal figure, and I actually really like that. I think that's kind of cool. Like I was saying, they have a knack for making the shading look very natural on the figure, so when you see it next to normal figures, it doesn't look out of place, which is really unique. Really unique. It's something you don't quite see, because usually when other companies do the shading effect, it's very clear that it's shading and it looks off. But Neca, they have a way of just making it natural looking, and that's really cool. So now moving on to his accessories, you get a lot of hands. They're all grip hands, so you can hold various weapons and other things like that, including one wide grip hand, so you can hold an ooze canister. Hi, Editing Hunter here. I am an idiot. It is a grenade, not an ooze canister. I don't know why I thought it was an ooze canister. Ooze canisters have had a consistent look across all of TMNT. It's clearly the grenade from the comic. I'm an idiot. But yeah, you can just have him hold it. Goes in his hand like that. You get a battle damaged claw, like just like an arm piece. You don't like remove these to put it on. You have to just like shove it over the rubber, because these are like super soft, gummy claws. But probably just best to kind of have it just as an accessory off to the side or something. Lastly, you do get an unhelmeted head of Oroku Saki. Now, for those who are just a little unfamiliar, let me just kind of briefly run through this, though if you're watching this, you're probably a Ninja Turtles guy and already know. This is a different version of Oroku Saki, because in Eastman and Laird's version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Mirage Comics, this is actually the brother of the person who had the love triangle storyline with Splinter, and not Oroku Saki here. They changed it for modern versions, which I think helps streamline it quite a bit. But yeah, it is an alternate head, so you just slide it off like so. Gotta use behind the camera strength. Yep, just slide it off, and then you slide it right in there, and now he's unhelmeted and covered in blood. Like I said, again, they have a weird way of making the shading very natural looking, so it doesn't look out of place, which I think is really cool. But yeah. Oh. So now with that all done, let's now move on to the last bit, which is the articulation. So you got a dumbbell joint at the top of the neck, so you can kind of look around and stuff like that. You do have a hinge joint down at the base of the neck as well, as you saw when I removed the head. So you can do that. Arms go out about that far. They do have a bicep swivel, which you do, because Neca figures are fully painted, so you will need to be very careful with these arms to not break them. I recommend heating them up and kind of just pushing down on the arm, and then start twisting it slowly. You'll eventually break away the paint and be able to move it around. Double jointed elbow, so it bends all the way up. The wrist does spin and then bend right there, and that works on all the alternate hands. Okay. Just a waist swivel. It's all you get there, but it's all... And I would have liked a little more, but I mean, the legs actually have some really good range to accommodate for the lack of the torso bend. Like, you can get them up all the way like that, all the way out. They are just on ball joints. They do have a thigh swivel. Double jointed knee bend, so it goes all the way up. A boot cut, so it spins around. Then the ankles go forward, backwards, and then they pivot. And then you got a bend right there at the toe. So he is quite posable. The only thing that is limited is the torso, because it is just a swivel, but I haven't found anything wrong with that. I haven't been able to get a pose where I'm like, I wish he had this, you know, because he's got a really good amount as he has. So with that done, let's move on to the size comparison. And so for a size comparison, here he is next to the Casey Jones from Neca from the same line, and these do look really good together. And like I said again, and here he is with the Mutant Mayhem Leonardo, who has no shading on it, which he should. That's what they look like in the movie. But it's Playmates, it's made for kids, what can you expect? But yeah, it looks natural still, even though they're both covered in shading. It's really unique how Neca does it. It's really cool. So there you guys have it. That was my video review on Ninja Turtles Battle Damage Shredder by Neca. This is a really good figure. I got it on discount for 20 bucks, and I think that's a fantastic price for this. Normally they're like, what, 35, something like that, which is still really good. You're getting a lot of paint on a figure. You're getting pretty good accessories. They're useful depending on if you've got other figures, because like I said, Shredder, most of his hands are weapon holding hands. So if you have more figures, it does help that he has all those parts. But yeah, really good figure. Highly recommend it. I'm glad to have it in my collection. And the painting, like I gushed about the painting the whole time. I love how natural the shading is. It's not only makes these figures look unique, but it also helps them still blend in with other action figures because it's just in such a natural spot. I love it. So good. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video review, like, comment, subscribe, check out my social medias in the description down below. And until next time, you guys, peace.